tour was this for
Bridges to Babylon. You know, so
and it was badass.
It was the Stones came in and just kind of took over the town, you know, and my love and basically the Rolling Stones music and seeing them as many times as I had since 1975. The fact of the matter is they never disappoint, and you know, people call them old, people call them whatever, but they're a great inspiration because I want to know how many people out there that are 81 years old can get on stage and rock to 50,000 people and kill it, you know.
Hey,
but this night in Norman, year. You know, I had my record store. They were instead of traveling to see this band, I was going to travel to Owen Field to see this band. I camped out. I had people everywhere in town. I got on television because of my tattoo, and I ended up scoring first, second, you know, a whole bunch of different seats in different locations. Because at this time I had a network. I had a network of Stones fans that were coming, you know, and plus with the guys that I knew selling tickets all across the country, I got into that side of it, you know, and starting to look at it and everything. And to this day, you know, I have this one dude, I don't know how he does it, but he knows the Stones. And you can go to any city and basically, and I've done it in Dallas, I've done it in Paris with Dave, but the fact of the matter is we can always get up front and we can always see the band. But the idea of the show here was they were going to be in town. They were going to stay here.
For like a week, right?
Yes, for like a week. Their home base became the Waterford. And, you know, Jagger was spotted at Bellini's. And, you know, I had people, and having the record store and being in that Stones network, people were coming into town, coming to the record store. You know, I had so many different opportunities during that day. Like, I had these dudes that came in, and they brought these bootleg T-shirts, and they were badass. They were white, long sleeve, with nothing like I'd ever seen. And back then, they were like a credit card, you know, those phone cards. Mm-hmm. So they were trying to push these phone cards for, like, if you bought this shirt, you got a $5 phone card with the tongue on it. You had to rip the sticker off and call, you know, and use all that. And so before they went to Norman, and I knew Norman was going to be hot as shit about selling. You know, whether it was concert tickets, whether it was whatever, because back then at the day, you know, at the time that, you know, they would look for people that were trying to, you know, sell tickets for over money, hawk or whatever. And bootlegs, you know, as years went on later, you can't beat the Stones. They bootleg their own stuff. They sell their own stuff. You know, they bootleg their own shows. They do it all, you know, and the fact of the matter is they can. And, you know, they're all about price points.
And the fans want it.
Oh, yeah. That, you know, people like me dig it. And so I got these shirts. Well, those dudes go to Norman, and as I'll never forget, as we were walking in, I saw them get arrested, you know. and
over some shirts.
Well, they were there too early, you know. They were getting people on the walk-in when they should have been getting them on the walk out. They were from Canada, and they were rolling on every tour, you know. So, but Jeff here has put together some numbers about the Stones, and the Stones and Sheryl Crow at Owen Field, they sold out. I think it was a Tuesday night. Bridges to Babylon, there were 53,327 tickets sold. The gross on the show was $3,076,378. $3 million in Oklahoma, Norman. And not only that, that show bought the University of Oklahoma the grass field.
The new field.
The new field. But to make it even better, knowing that they were at the Bridges to Babylon, you know, I like a lot of bands, but there's not very many bands that I would wait. And being in your hometown, I had more than enough time. You know, I was able to see them all walk in and out of the hotel. I was able to meet them, get some signatures, and, you know, just have the time of my life.
Hey, tell them about the stage too, because that was such a cool concept for a.
That was the first time that was the first time that they flew out to the middle.
They had a satellite stage in the middle of the arena, and this huge bridge came out of the front of the stage. It had like two lights on the front of it, so it looked like two eyes, and all of a sudden it just juts out over. And
they went to probably about the 40-yard line, 40-yard line. And you know, cool. So they're out there on that little stage,
and the bridge goes back, so they're like stranded out on this little bitty stage, and they do stuff from back when they were a club band, and then when they're through with their set, the bridge comes back out. They walk across the bridge.
It's been a staple in their show ever since.
Have you ever seen any video of it? Oh, it's so cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's so cool. Check it out.
But the cool thing about that whole show about Norman is it was all Stones. You know, for that moment, I mean, it was, you didn't pay attention. It was Oklahoma history at its finest in music, because the Stones hadn't been here since '65 when they played at Wedgwood.
But didn't you see them like a week or like a couple days later with a totally different lineup?
Which was better, Owen Field,
Norman,
or Texas Motor Speedway, Rolling Stones, Matchbox 20, Smashing Pumpkins, and Dave Matthews Band?
That one you didn't have any seats.
Standing room only.
You just had standing room only, and you had it.
Look at how close the numbers are the same, though.
Or if you wanted to sit way from the back 40, in Owen Field, you were right there.
Right there.
My son Dylan got Keith Richards' guitar pick.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was. I went with one of the girls that worked with me. Her name was Katie, and we had the time of our life. She loved the Stones as well, So to be able to go and hang out with people that had the same love as you for the same band, that's a great thing. I've been able to go all over the world and see the Rolling Stones, and it don't matter what language I'm in or where I'm at. The one thing that you have in common, and you can communicate with music, and you can get the feeling with music. But I've been all over the country and been able to speak to people through the Rolling Stones, because when the show hits, it's all about them.